I tend to think that, like, now more than ever, people just want to know what is actually going on in the economy, really. Like, they want to know the truth. And I think that's obviously why there's less sort of trust in mainstream media than ever now. I mean, that's something they obviously survey and measure. And the reason for that, in my opinion, is just the fact that things have just gotten so absurd and ridiculous, like when it comes to obviously inflation and more specifically, like housing prices. People love to say that the reason is because we have a quote-unquote housing shortage. And here's what I would say. If somebody says that, just simply ask them what they mean and how they came to that conclusion. Every time I've done it, it's just some form of gaslighting. They get louder, meaner, and angrier than you, and that's their way of sort of like saying they won the fight, when all they've done is basically just had like a full-bore meltdown. Better yet, if it's documented, through social media. It's just ridiculous. The sort of response you get. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you look at those numbers, okay, and if you do a proper scaled analysis, you're not going to find a housing shortage. And specifically what I mean by that is not what's just listed for sale. That is not representative of the entire housing stock of homes. There's like 147 million, give or take, homes in the United States. Some of those are owner-occupied, some of those are renter-occupied. Around, I want to say it's like close to 15 million homes are vacant. So like that right there should tell you that should make you at least begin to question whether or not there really is a housing shortage. Same thing with like homes per capita at all-time highs, and homes per household is also trending much higher. It's nothing but just constant, unending BS that these people serve up. I mean, they will latch on to literally any narrative, and I mean any narrative that justifies their perception of reality, which was probably based on a hunch to begin with. And like I said, people push back on me all the time, and they say like, oh man, like you seem to have a really strong opinion about things, or that's a bold call. And like, I don't know, man, like, can you really say that? And the answer is, that's what the numbers show. And it's not a bold call, because this is really, if anything, an access to information issue. If you talk to like a very sophisticated, like actually smart developer, or somebody like, say, in the servicing business, who has looked at this information at scale all over the place, and if they're being honest, they're going to tell you exactly what I just said. So the only thing that this really has anything to do with is the fact that we're propping up the wealth effect at the expense of true price discovery. I mean, things blew up 15 years ago in a magnificent way. And now people are coming around to the idea that this isn't really like capitalism, right? We're just propping up the wealth effect because our population is just much older in the aggregate. So Look, there's not a housing shortage. It has nothing to do with supply. It has everything to do with the wealth effect. And if anybody says otherwise, then show me. Ask them to show you how they arrived at that conclusion, and you'll get your answer real quick. Because most people I've run into, because the bar is so low in real estate, just broadly speaking, but now also the rest of our economy, where there are complete idiots running around making bold calls. They think if you say something with enough bravado and conviction, then it must be true. Okay, well, manifest that into existence then. Because I have not found somebody who's willing to be just brutally honest about this stuff. It has nothing to do with where you think I land on this issue at all. Okay, it does not matter. And it has everything to do with the math. That there is just, you cannot say that there is a housing shortage mathematically. You just cannot do it. You can, but you're going to sound like a moron. Okay? So, just do not listen to these self-serving idiots. And they're everywhere, man. I'm so sick and tired of all this entitled behavior that is just basically being speedballed into your face pretty much all the time now. I mean, we have a system that's basically set up that rewards stupidity. That's where we are. And quite frankly, it only gets dumber from here. All right, guys. Complaining feels good. Bye.